The Biden administration has just stepped in it. They have just made a huge, unforced error, and it's going to change the story completely. About a year and a half ago, it became glaringly apparent that things were eventually going to come to a head between the new Free Republic of Florida and the formerly United States and their illustrious leader. Well, they just blew it. I'm sure many of you have seen this story about Biden seeks to support Florida schools threatened by governor over masks. You see, the left has been mischaracterizing things for so long, they don't even check their own propaganda to see if it might be illegal. That's right. There might be a prosecutable crime now. Many have seen this. Pisaki. Department of Education could protect Florida school leaders against quote-unquote DeSantis penalties. You see, this is where they goof. Governors don't make law. Legislatures do. We passed a law. We, the people of the state of Florida, passed a law, HB 241. HB 241, the Parents' Bill of Rights, says unequivocally that medical decisions fall to the parents only. A school board or an administrator can neither, pay attention here, you can't require masks, nor can you ban them. You can't require masks, and nor can you ban them. It would violate this law. Some people have tried to characterize the governor as being disingenuous, saying that they talk about limited government, but then they use government to make people blah, blah, blah. The government isn't making anybody do anything. It's actually taking power away from government, away from school boards, away from administrators and superintendents, and giving that power to the governor? No, to the parents. To the parents. They're the ones making the decision. The proposal, dubbed a Parents' Bill of Rights, would make clear that the state and public schools cannot infringe on the fundamental rights of parents to direct the upbringing of their child, extending to decisions about education, health care, and mental health. The governor isn't telling anybody to do anything other than let the parents make the decision for the kids. Now, what's the crime? Nikki Fried, the Commissioner of Agriculture, state of Florida, has decided she wants to go do an end run around the governor and go to the feds and attempt to get these administrators who decide they don't want to adhere to our state law remunerated for doing so. Our governor has come out and said, if you don't adhere to state law, we will withhold funds. Now, we could charge them with a crime if we wanted to, but we were just going to withhold the funds. Now, what's the problem with this? Nikki Fried is a sworn member of the Florida leadership. She's the lone elected statewide Democrat. She's sworn to uphold Florida state law. And if she doesn't, meaning if she attempts to gain remuneration, even for someone else, for violating our state law, that is felony solicitation. Solicitation, commanding, hiring, or encouraging another person to commit a crime. Facts first. Do we have a law that says only parents can make medical decisions for kids? Yes, we do. That is fact. The governor signed the law, but he didn't create the law. The Florida legislature created the law. Is Nikki Fried sworn to uphold Florida state law? Yes, she is. If someone attempts to install a mask mandate, meaning attempting to override the will of the parents, is that a violation of law? Yes, it is. If she encourages them to do said violation of law, she is now guilty of the crime of solicitation. And the fact that she's gone to the federal government to ask for money to help remunerate these people makes it a felony, given the amounts involved. This is a giant unforced error. But this shows you how much of an amateur Psaki is. I'm not even sure if Biden has run this by his counselors or not, or if anybody's even looked at this. But her even attempting to do it, we couldn't do anything from Florida to Psaki. We couldn't do anything to Biden. But we sure as heck could put Miss Freed in cuffs and have her removed from her position for solicitation. And let me go over it again. HB 241 is a law that says the only person who can make a medical decision for a child is the parent. That's a law. It's not an executive order, it's a law. A school board or a superintendent attempting to violate or circumvent that law is committing a crime. If Nikki Freed encourages them to do that, for whatever reason, she is guilty of solicitation. And once again, going to the federal government saying, hey, can you pay these people, in essence, to commit a crime, is felony criminal solicitation. Facts first. It doesn't matter what the opinion of the CDC is. It doesn't matter what the opinion of the federal government is, or your opinion, really, or even my opinion. We have a law. It's called HB 241. I'll give you the link again. I've given it in other videos. She has just counseled people to attempt to circumvent Florida state law. And she's attempting to do so herself. And she's a lawyer. That she didn't think about this, she's probably smoked one too many. She's a big proponent of all types of weed. In fact, was engaged to at one time, and I don't know if she's married to the guy or not, but a guy who had a big weed business. So that's clearly affected her thinking, because this isn't even close. This is super easy to knock out of the park. And letters have been sent out. This is the first letter to Leon County. We only have 2 counties in Florida that are saying they're going to try to circumvent our law. Leon County and I want to say Brevard, not Broward, but Brevard County, I believe, are the 2. And I'll have to look that up. But this is the letter sent out to Superintendent Hanna and Chair Bowen about their intent. It's a 2-page letter stating that this is going to be the intent of the state of Florida and that they will adhere to our law. Now, what they choose to do or what they don't choose to do, that's up to them. But Miss Freed, within the sound of my voice, if you happen to be, think twice. Be very careful. Because if we remove you, we will get to appoint that seat. You're the lone statewide elected Democrat. There'd be a lot of people very interested in taking that seat who are not Democrats. And that would be the final nail in the coffin for the leftist agenda here. 2-1 majority in the legislature, almost. 2 to 3 seats short. Super majority in the Senate. Complete command of the courts. And we have the governor's office. Is this the hill you want to die on? Sure hope you have a good lawyer. Be very careful about what you say from this point forward. With respect, Counselor Freed. And I will leave that there. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. And we'll, of course, see you tonight on Twitch.